Hello, my name is Jess Benson, and I am a senior analyst with the Legislative Services Agency. There have been over $9.2 billion in COVID-19 federal funds appropriated so far to the state, and that doesn't include direct payments from the federal government to individuals, businesses, or larger cities. This presentation is meant to be a roadmap of federal funds that the state has received over the past several years, and to help guide you through the resources that we have produced. We're going to hit the highlights today in this presentation, but if you have additional questions on individual programs, please contact me or Adam Broik, and our contact information is listed at the end of this presentation, or the fiscal analyst that you work with on your budget subcommittee, and we will be happy to track down any additional information that you need. Over the past 2 years, there have been 5 different federal acts passed directly related to the COVID-19 pandemic. There were the 4 original acts passed in March and April of 2020, which include the Coronavirus Preparedness and Response Supplemental Appropriations Act, the Families First Coronavirus Response Act, the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Securities Act, better known as the CARES Act, and the Paycheck Protection Program and Healthcare Enhancement Act. Then, in March of 2021, the American Rescue Plan Act was passed. Between those 5 acts, the federal government has sent almost $9.3 billion to the state. For this presentation, we are going to work our way down the 3 blue boxes in the middle of your screen. Starting with the first box on the top, the majority of the funds, $7.2 billion, have been sent directly to state agencies. As of December 31st, 2021, $4.6 billion has been spent, and there is $2.5 billion in unexpended funds. For a detailed, up-to-date list of the $7.2 billion in federal funds awarded directly to state agencies, first navigate to the Publications tab. Once there, select Story Maps and Dashboard Gallery, and then select Interactive Federal COVID-19 Relief Awards and Expenses. Once there, select the third tab, Program Awards and Expenditures, and this will detail the $7.2 billion in funding that was appropriated directly to state agencies. You'll see in here that the Iowa Workforce Development Unemployment Insurance had the largest award of $3.4 billion. Other significant awards include $933 million in 2 rounds for elementary and secondary education, $594 million for Medicaid, and $416 million for epidemiology and laboratory capacity for infectious diseases. Expiration dates for the funds vary by program and could go out multiple years. Please visit the site and review the awards to see all 78 different awards that went directly to state agencies. The next pot of money we are going to talk about is the Coronavirus Relief Fund, which is the middle box on your screen. Iowa received $1.25 billion in federal funds through the CARES Act. These funds have been distributed at the governor's discretion. As of December 31st, 2021, there is a balance of $57.9 million remaining in the fund. This slide is a balance sheet of the Coronavirus Relief Fund as of December 31st, 2021. You can see what has been transferred, which is pretty much everything, and what has been spent, which is everything but the $57.9 million. Funds from the Coronavirus Relief Fund had to be obligated by December 31st, 2021, and spent by December 30th, 2022. While this balance sheet is current as of December 31st, 2021, reporting and reconciliation are ongoing, so the balance sheet will not reflect everything that was obligated by the end of the year. Expenditures from the Coronavirus Relief Fund range from bowling centers to broadband. As was the case with funds directly sent to state agencies, the largest expenditures from the Coronavirus Relief Fund is for unemployment insurance. And here is a list of some of the other large expenditures, including small businesses, local government, mental health, and livestock producers. There's a detailed list of the programs in the LSA's analysis of the governor's FY23 budget recommendations, which can be found under the annual state budget analysis link on the front page of the legislature's webpage under popular publications. The third pot of money that we are going to talk about is the Coronavirus Fiscal Recovery Fund, which is the bottom blue box. The state of Iowa received $851.3 million in funds on July 23, 2021. This is the first half of funding we will receive from the American Rescue Plan Act. We will receive the second half of funding sometime in the next year. As of December 31, 2021, $354 million has been transferred to various state agencies as represented by this balance sheet in front of you. The governor transferred $238.6 million for unemployment insurance, and another $110.9 million was earmarked by the federal government for non-entitlement units of government, which are cities with a population of fewer than 50,000 people. Cities with populations of larger than 50,000 people receive their funds directly from the federal government. Funds provided to state and local governments have broad spending flexibility, including addressing emergency and economic effects of the pandemic, replenishing revenue losses due to the shutdown of the economy, investments in water and sewer, and broadband infrastructure, and premium pay to essential workers. Iowa coronavirus fiscal recovery funds must be used to cover costs incurred by recipients between March 3, 2021 and December 31, 2024. And funds must be expended by December 31st of 2026, or they will revert back to the federal government. Not represented in the $9.3 billion is the second half of the $151.3 million, and also another $152.2 million from the Coronavirus Capital Projects Fund. The funds are to be used to carry out critical capital projects directly enabling work, education, and health monitoring, including remote options in response to the public health emergency. The state has not yet applied for these $152 million in funds. The Legislative Services Agency has created an interactive dashboard to help sort through the federal funds the state has received. The dashboard includes total awards to the state and expenses as reported by the Department of Management. The information in the dashboard is updated most weeks with data provided publicly by the department. There is a link at the bottom of this video to access the dashboard, or you can access it from the legislature's website. To do so, select Publications at the top in the middle of the website. On the left-hand side, select Story Maps and Dashboard Gallery. On this page, you will find a variety of interactive dashboards and story maps, including interactive dashboards on the governor's budget request, school aid by legislative district, and the road use tax fund by legislative district. In the second row on the left is a dashboard for the federal COVID-19 relief dashboard. The bubbles show the awards by program. You can hover over a bubble for the total award amount, or click on it. On the right side of the screen shows the department that the funds were awarded to, and on the bottom of the screen shows the total awards by month. You can see with unemployment insurance that the majority of the funds were awarded in April of 2020. The second tab shows program detail and provides the total awards and expenses and the remaining funds available. There is a drop-down menu which allows you to select the program you are interested in. A description of the program is on the left-hand side of the page. In the center of the page, it shows you the categories in which the funds were spent, and the pie chart on the right shows expenses and unexpended funds. The table at the bottom of the page shows expenses by month. The third tab in the table demonstrated earlier shows awards and expenditures and unexpended funds by program. There is a total at the bottom of the page, which totals the $7.2 billion awarded directly to state agencies. This does not include the Coronavirus Relief Fund or the Coronavirus Fiscal Recovery Fund. Shifting gears away from COVID-19, this final slide displays expected allocations to the state of Iowa from the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act that was signed into law in November of 2021. The Act will provide funding to all states for infrastructure projects through a mix of new and established programs, which include a reauthorization of surface transportation programs. Iowa is expected to receive a little less than $200 million per year over the next 5 years. This information is current as of the middle of January, and the LSA will provide updates as more information becomes available. Thank you for your interest in federal funds, and if you need additional information or have further questions, please contact myself or Adam Broik at the phone number or email address listed below.